now. Oh, look at you. Good morning, Rosena. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters, where we are part of District 115, which is Southern Nevada, a little bit of Arizona, and a little part of Utah, as Gene Williams says. And today we have our co-host, Doris. Welcome, Doris.
Hi.
And Rosena from the Bahamas. And look at her lovely background, where we all probably wish we are right now because we're in sweaters. Are you running around in shorts still, Rosena?
Absolutely. The sun is shining bright. It's a little cool, but our cool is like 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice. Now, we always hear about the Bahamas. I just want to go straight to the Bahamas right now. We always hear about the Bahamas. Is it constantly 80? Or is there fluctuations?
So we do feel what we call winter. Our winters can get probably as cold as maybe 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
So it's still, all things considered, warmer than most places.
Yeah. Well, that is cold, 50 degrees. So we always think of that. So now we know. Now, is your winter corresponds with our winter in the United States?
So if you are closer to Florida, of course, winter would definitely be somewhere around, it's now December and we're still in the 70s. So maybe late December, early January, maybe a bit of February, but then after that it gets warm again. So not a very long winter.
Oh, so you get about 3 months of winter. So your volume is a little low. I'm not sure if that's on you or if that's on me. Doris, do you think?
I have my volume turned up, so I'm okay. So it depends what your volume is at.
Okay.
Is that better? Better?
Yeah, let me try mine. I'll just wake up my whole household. But me talking to somebody from Toastmasters again so early in the morning. So, Rosena, am I saying your name correct?
Rosena.
Rosena. Okay, perfect. When all of our guests, first-time guests, get asked this question, tell us about your first-time experience of entering into a room of Toastmasters.
All right, so for me, it was kind of unique. I was an advisor for Junior Achievement. And for Junior Achievement, they had their speech contest being hosted at a Toastmasters meeting. And so we were in the Toastmasters room, the Toastmasters were the judges and, the facilitators. And so I was kind of intrigued that, these persons coordinated such a fabulous contest. And the achievers did so well. They were so well spoken. They didn't use any notes. And I'm like, these kids can do it. I need to think about my speaking abilities. And so I went back the next time to visit the club during a regular club meeting. And it was a bit overwhelming at first, like, wow, this is pretty heavy, but I kept coming back.
Yay. So, and you are based out of the Bahamas. Let's give your club a shout. Give us the name of your club and when they meet.
Absolutely. So I am from the Healing Communicators Toastmasters Club 7178 in Nassau, Bahamas.
And when do they meet?
So we meet every Tuesday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're fortunate to have both a in-person and a Zoom meeting. So we're hybrid, thanks to COVID. So we've taken full advantage of remaining international. And so our guests can come on Zoom, or if they're on island, they can come into the room.
Great. Now, I like the hybrid experience. Do you have Toastmasters from around the world, or is it just still in the Bahamas?
So I'm currently serving as president this year. And last night, my district, I'm in District 47, my program quality director was able to visit. She lives in Florida. So it is wonderful to be able to let our district officers come and pop in at any time without having to fly into the country. So it has its rewards.
I love being on the Zoom format, and that is one good thing. Thank you, COVID, that we could be thankful for. We always look for a little silver lining and something it's tragic. and I wouldn't have got a chance to meet Doris, and now I get to meet you and Betsy. And so it's nice to be able to do that. I feel like if Doris said, "Hey, Jen, I'm coming over to visit," of course, I'm like, "Come on, visit. You're in my house," so it's great. And that's one of the good things about being a Toastmaster too, is that we have that bond, correct, with the networking. Now, so how long have you been a Toastmaster? I forgot to ask that question.
So I joined in 2009, and
Okay.
life happens, so took about almost 9 to 10 years off. So '09 for a year, and stopped for quite some time. And I decided that you cannot grow in the program if you don't actually come to the program. So 2017, I came back and active, serving on the board, competing in contests, just going through the program. And so I would like to say I joined in '09, but I've been an active member since 2017.
Very good. So good job. Now, are you involved in the district leadership as well?
I am. So last year I served as an area director, and this year I'm serving as the district speech contest co-chair.
Oh, nice. And is your speech contest in the spring as well as
Yes,
ours?
held, I think it's in March of
Okay,
this year.
good. Now, you haven't told us what you do. Do you work for a living? Do you have a career?
So
Some people are just, in Toastmasters.
fortunately and unfortunately, I do have to go to work. I would love to just, have a different type of career path. But right now, yes, I go to work. I have a 9 to 5. I work for a professional services company. So they do accounting, consulting, tax. And so I am in our consulting risk advisory practice. I serve as a senior manager, doing all things risk related. My new focus is cybersecurity. So a lot of my clients would come to us to be able to get support with ethical hacking, training, developments, things of that nature. So that's where I focus my 9 to 5.
And how do you feel that Toastmasters has helped you with your career?
So the reason why I actually joined Toastmasters for the second time was because I had to speak for work. Being a professional, I'm asked to speak on behalf of the company at different organizations. And I will not lie. The very first time I had to speak, I think the speech length was about 10 to 20 minutes. I think I did it in 5. I off that stage. And I said, I got to work on this anxiety and the stage fright. And so that's really what gave me that push back into Toastmasters. But the truth is, I would tell persons that public speaking is a good part of it. So I did get a little more comfortable with public speaking. But that leadership, if you really embrace the program, I think for me, I've become a stronger leader because of it. So knowing more about my leadership style, how I work. Yes, there's room for improvement, but you get to have that big picture view, speaking in public as well as speaking, to teams and working with teams. I think I've gotten both of those from the program.
Yes, I believe 100% that people hear of Toastmasters and, oh, I don't want to be a public speaker, but it is so much more than public speaking.
Mhm.
Doris, do you have any questions?
I do. It's so nice to meet you, Rosena. Rosena, how has Toastmasters benefit you as far as outside Toastmasters in life out there?
So, and you asked that question, my passions just, are pouring out. So 2 things happened as I was part of the program. So mentorship was one of the things. So I love to watch people succeed. And a few years ago, I was a contestant at the district for evaluation. I came second. One of my members was then competing, I think the following year. And so coaching and mentoring and pushing, she came first. And to me, that's what the program's all about, pushing people further than you pushed yourself. So how can I help you get further than I've gotten because I've given you some of the nuggets I've gotten along the way? It was the first thing. And little secret, but I got my email 2 days ago. I'm now a distinguished Toastmaster. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And a part of the Distinguished Toastmasters journey was doing the DTM project. And for the DTM project, I had to decide to do something that was, something I enjoy doing, but working with the team. And I really have this passion for literacy. A lot of people, unfortunately, can't read. And when you think about Toastmasters, you can't read. and write, how do you really embrace this program if you write your own speeches? And so I decided for my DTM project to go into the government primary school and to read alouds to the students. As a part of the project, it was a read aloud to the students to get them excited about reading and hearing stories. But as a Toastmaster, it got us to practice vocal variety and being able to engage in storytelling. And I actually had evaluation forms for the readers so they can get feedback from the teachers of how they did and how they can improve as a reader to primary school kids. And so I want to take that passion further than my project and go into more schools in the new year to really promote literacy and reading in our government primary schools.
Wow, that just gave me goosebumps.
What an impact you are having in the younger generation. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. And I can see the passion that you have for it. What a wonderful gift.
Thank you.
Yep. Do you have any other questions?
Well, I'm going to just listen and continue on and ask me later. I'm just like so excited to have Rosena on our show today. My goodness.
Now we have prospects out there. That's, excuse me, this is the reason for our show is so that we can spread the word about Toastmasters through, of course, through Zoom and Facebook, and we'll advertise or just promote and show everywhere. But our whole goal is to make sure that, or our whole goal is to hope that somebody who is not a Toastmaster see this program. Tell us about your experience as an area director.
Okay. So, and I said, okay, because as an area director, I also served as the club's VPE. So it was a pretty interesting year for me. But what I think I appreciated most as area director was, and for those that don't know what the area director is, you have the ability to support, to mentor, to be there for clubs within your area. So I had 4 clubs in my area. And like I said, COVID has its pros and its cons, but I had 2 clubs on another island in the Bahamas, on an island called Rosena. But I was able to visit that club very often, which I couldn't have done if we weren't in this type of arena. And so 2 of those clubs weren't doing so well. They were, low on numbers. They weren't getting their goals. It was really hard for the clubs. And one of the things that one of my advisors told me was, we don't want to lose a club. You do not want to lose a club. You want to grow clubs. And so to me, it allowed me to really practice the encouraging, mentoring, and supporting skill set. How do I help this club stay engaged, to stay on the dashboard, to be there? And during my year as area director, that was done. That club was able to stay active. They had persons in the contest. They had new members joining. They got their goals. And so as area director, I was really able to take that mentoring, coaching, supporting skill set, and to bring it into action. And the question was asked, Madam Area Director, how do I do this? I had my contacts, I had my research, and I was able to be that source of, support, for the club, to come to meetings, and if they needed someone to be on the program, sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. What I also learned was, when you get to a meeting, they're going to call on you. Madam Area Director, you want to bring remarks? And you have to be able to think about something to say about the club in the moment, something that's positive and highlighting. And so I really got to be able to pay attention to what the club is doing and always be ready to give an answer. And as a Toastmaster, something that we learn is the impromptu speaking, always be ready. Someone says, here's a statement, be ready to give 1 to 2 minutes at least of a response. And so I got to do that quite a bit as well as an area director. But I think for me, the reward was, one, seeing those clubs stay open. And I heard that they had a membership drive just a few weeks ago, actually, where they're really pushing and making a big effort to keep the clubs alive. And to me, I planted to see it, and now I'm watching the seed grow, a year later. So to me, that's a reward in itself, watching the seed grow after you've put in some of the work.
I love that. I was never an area director. I'm a division director now, and I skipped the area director. And I may not even do district leadership. I may go back, or like to the trio. I may go back to be an area director, go backwards and then go forwards, because I think that that's one of the things is that you're mentoring and you're having fun and giving that encouragement in it. That's a great, great leadership. So we've talked about area director and division or district leadership. Do you have any aspirations to be in part of the trio?
So funny story, I went to conference this year. So I was in Nashville. I had the most amazing experience and I got to see the region directors. And I said, I would not mind being a region director. I think it'd be really cool to be, at that big table to be able to, support not just a club, but to support a region, to support, several districts. But then they told me in order to get that seat, I have to serve as the district director or something of that nature. So I'm like, okay, wait a second. If my goal is to get here, I'm gonna have to think about this journey that I want to take. So it's definitely on the table because if I want to get there, this is the path that I need. But I think it's been an interesting journey for me because I served as area director at DPE, and then I came back and now I'm a president. And every level of leadership is different. Every level of leadership is different. Every team is different. Every experience is different. Every goal is different. And so I embraced for, do you want another level of leadership and what that brings to the table? And so at this point, I want to say, yes, I am, but I will not lie. I'm incredibly nervous of what with the level of leadership that can happen.
You will be able to do it. I can see you remind me of Jessica Allen. She was our Region 2 director, 2 years ago, and she just had that drive. And when she left as the region and not involved in all of our districts anymore, you could feel the difference of her leaving. She had a lot of energy and really loved certain parts of her districts, and especially she loved art, the PRM. She goes, I love my PRMs, and I served PRM for 2 years in our district. And you can tell when she was really involved in the region, how the PRMs were so involved in everything that was going out and all of the correspondence back and forth, because it was more of a competition of who could be louder, and brighter in the district. So you do miss that type of that leadership. And I could see that you do actually have that. So I'm excited to follow you, Rosena.
Thank you.
Follow your path. Well, our district, as you're talking about getting the seat at the table, our district is definitely, I know that there's applications going in for district leadership because we want to head to the Bahamas.
Come on down. The conference is going to be the Bahamas next year, right?
Yeah, that's why I feel that everybody's claiming to be on that trio panel so that they can get to the Bahamas, because you can hear that buzz. Well, we do get our expenses paid if we're in the trio. My mentor has asked me if I applied for the I call it product, but program quality directors program. And I said, yes, I did it the first day. Said, all right. I love it. But we'll see.
I think because I'm working with our PQD this year, of course, as a speech contest chair. So I get to see a little closer of what's happening behind the scenes, and as the area director, being able to kind of watch, you want to know what's happening from an education standpoint. How do we highlight our members? And you mentioned your role as PRM. And I think one of the good things about public relations is being able to really have that outward public showcase of what people are doing,
Yes.
And it's really joy to see people doing well. And people just love to say, thank you for seeing me. Thank you for acknowledging what I've been doing. And so really rewarding experience.
Yep. Absolutely. That would be one of the things about being a PRM, that you are invited to a lot of the committees to help promote that. So that might be something as well for you.
Sure.
Now, I want to get back to the club level.
Okay.
So you talk about all of the leadership roles. There's going to be 2 questions. What is your favorite role as just going in as a regular club meeting? What's your favorite role?
A regular club meeting, my favorite role honestly is table topics. I don't know why, but I think I just love table topics. It's like you're sitting there waiting for someone to call your name, maybe, maybe not. And then as the questions are coming up, if you're paying attention, okay, just in case they call my name, we get ready to answer this question. So I think it's table topics, keeps you on your toes.
Yes, definitely. I did a table topics the other day, and I was called on. Usually I'm just like, but I had the answer. Like, I have the answer to this. And then what is your favorite leadership role in the clubs?
So in all fairness, I've only done a few. I've served as secretary very briefly, public relations for a while, VPE, and now president. And believe it or not, my favorite role out of all of them is the VPE role. I just love being the VP. I know it sounds kind of crazy, like that is the hardest role. Why would you love it? But I think what I loved is as the VPE, the hat that I wore the most was that motivating hat. I had a member that says, Madam VP, I cannot be the chairman. I'm like, why not? I've never done it before. I'm like, okay, but you never do it. How are you going to be able to do it? And so being able to coach someone and say, you can do it, and then watch them do it and say, oh, thank you so much for pushing me and encouraging me. That was my reward, getting persons to complete their levels, do things I never did before, and say, thank you for getting me back in the program. I almost left, but you made me stay. And you made me figure out why I'm staying. So the VP role was the most rewarding for me.
That is very good. That is very unique. A lot of people, because of the time that it is committed and you having to deal with every single member, a lot of people are afraid of that role. I had that role once and I'm like, take it back. I don't want this.
No, I would definitely do it again. I'm sure if people were to hear this replay, this girl is crazy. Who would ever take the VP role again? But I think I got it down pack at the end and I figured out my why. So I knew I wanted to have unique programs. I wanted to ensure that our club is kind of big. We have about 47 paid members on our dashboard right now.
Oh,
So we're
wow.
pretty big
Nice.
club. And so I said, I want to make sure that I touch at least every member. You're going to be in the program at least once. I don't want duplications. I don't want the same person in the program every week. If you want to, that's fine. But if you don't want to, I'm going to try to find a way to make them unique. I'm also going to use the program for all that it offers. I'm going to teach, I'm going to train. So I brought in people to do things like talking about mental health or talking about something else. Like I really embraced all that the program had to offer. And then I love celebrating the person. So they got a new level in pathways. We're having a party, level up, level up, level up. And so I made it where it worked for me and the members. And I didn't take the cancellations or the no's personally. Like I learned to be okay with a no, be okay with I can't do it, and find a way to say, okay, well, if you can't do it today, what day in the future is good for you? What have you not done already so we can try something new? And so it helped me to be okay with hearing no. It helped me to learn my project management skills, my follow-up skills, dealing with members. So I learned a lot from the role and I looked at it differently. What can I gain from the role? What skills that I'm weak in that I can get stronger in from my experience as VP? And so that perspective helped me to manage in the role.
You've inspired me to take that role again. So we'll see.
Awesome.
You have, well, because of the fact also is when I took it, I think I was still kind of new in Toastmasters, and it was also during the pandemic as well. So it was just a little difficult to do it. Now you have 27 members in your club, and that's
Wow.
47. Holy
Okay. Let's talk about club growth. Let's talk about
club growth. Is that unique in the Bahamas or in your district to have a club that big?
So I looked at the dashboard a few days ago, and we are just 3 of us. There's 3 clubs in our district that has that many members. Everyone else has what we deem to be normal amounts, like 30 and under. We're one of the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unusual for the district, but usual for our club. We've always had a very big club. Our club has always been large. And I think it has to do with our culture. We are a club where a lot of our DTMs, our seasoned members, our founding members are still present. So some of our chartered members still come to the club. So I think keeping that level of history in the club keeps the club strong. Our club takes a lot of things very seriously. We have a business session, so we go through parliamentary procedures. We have a very large due amount, and we'll say it online. but we use that due amount to provide trophies and other incentives that other clubs may not provide to the, the members because they don't pay those additional dues. And so we found ways to do things additional to make the club exciting, and it's a big balance of learning and social and just that family support. So our club is a club where we maintain that family, that unity, and that excitement. You come to our club, you're looking to be entertained, engaged, make new connections, and we find ways to just keep it together. And so I think that's what we've done to really keep growth coming. And people, they want to come to our club. We keep our Facebook page active. If you were to go to Healing Communicators right now on Facebook, you will see pictures from our last meeting already posted and on the website. You will see highlights from our members. We have a YouTube channel, an Instagram page. Like, we're out there. We're doing our part to really be present. And then we're out in the community. My team has done a panel discussion. I'm grateful to be on your show today. And so we've found ways to really be present and say, yes, we can help. We'll go to other clubs and we'll, support their programs. And where are you from? Healing Communicators. Want to pass by? We meet on Tuesdays. And people pop in.
Well, I definitely encourage you to put your club into the chat as well, or into the comments, so that maybe you will get more visitors at least to see who you're all about. Because I think, of course, we always attract the energy, people with energy, and they'll see you and say, oh, well, let's go see what her club's all about. 47 people, and just to even drive by to see, I always say drive by and see what's going on and how they can make their clubs better, because I will probably have some time to come and visit you. So in the next few weeks, so I may do that.
I love that.
Me too. I'm definitely coming.
Yeah.
I would like to know about your mentors. You seem very, very strong in your mentoring skills, and to become a strong mentor, you have to have strong mentors in your life. Tell me about the mentors within Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters.
So for me, the mentorship program is twofold, right? I believe that a good mentor needs a good mentee. It's very difficult to be mentored if you're not ready to be mentored. So the first thing is being open to that level of adjustment and growth. So when I came back in the program, as I mentioned before, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a stronger speaker. And that was it for me initially. Just, I want to be a stronger speaker. And then because I had that hand up, I'll do it mentality, person saw something. Well, I think you'd be good for this. I think you'd be good for that. And I kept open. Okay, let me try it out. Let me see what's happening here. And then also not be afraid of failure. So my very first time competing was the evaluation contest. And it was awful. It was absolutely awful. It's a 2-minute to 3-minute presentation. At 1 minute, I ran out of words and had nothing to say. The green light was not on yet. I'm out of words, and I'm standing there like a deer in headlights saying nothing. I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I never wanted to do it again. Now, this is at the club level. And unfortunately, at the club level, there's not really a big disqualification. So the area contest came up and the persons who had won couldn't make it. And so they said, oh, you can do it. I'm like, I just messed up a couple of times ago. You gotta be joking. But I said, you know what? I'll try again. I didn't place, but I tried again anyway. And I said, you know what? I want to conquer this contest. So I asked for help. And so someone said, I can help you. And I was open to the help. As I mentioned before, I came second a few years later at the district because I really want it to work. My mentor at the time was a distinguished Toastmaster, and she helped to coach me. We practiced. And so for me, the mentorship has to be one where you have a keen eye on your mentee. So you know what they want to do, and you're truly giving them all that you have to support them on their journey. And the mentee has to be open to the feedback. The next thing is just building that relationship. I think the relationship aspect of mentorship is what's key, because you will be open and more honest with something that you trust, that you're open with. And so build that rapport, build that relationship, and then have that support. As I mentioned before, we have our distinguished Toastmasters, our founding members, and they are happy to give advice. They know the TI rules. They know the experiences, they know what's happening, and they have absolutely no problem saying, how would you try it this way? And like I said, once you're open, you realize that, this actually works. And you see that it works and you keep going and keep doing it. And so you're right, we do have a very strong mentorship support in our club. Every new member is decided that we have this legacy mentorship system. Even if you were a past Toastmaster, you will still hear someone saying, that's my mentee, that's my mentee, years later, because it kind of sticks with you. You don't lose your mentor after 6 months. Your mentor stays with you almost feels like forever. You know, I ask a question. And so it's a relationship that's really, long term versus just a few weeks, a few months. And like I said, that bond allows you to feel very free to say, hey, I'm not trying to do this, what do you think? Or how should I handle this? And they're there. And your mentors will change too. I have a mentor who says, after a while I couldn't help her anymore because she's past me. And so you have to be able to find a mentor for the arena that you're in. When I was competing, I needed a different mentor for a competition. I became a leader, a mentor for leadership. At work, another mentor for the skills that I'm doing. So you have to be able to say, you have to have someone who's going to help you in the avenue that you're trying to accomplish, for that period that you're trying to accomplish, because every mentor can't take you where you need to go, where you want to be. And a mentor should respect that. So this journey here, let me send you to somebody else, because this is where our journey ends, because I can't help you past this point.
Rosena, I am so glad that Doris said, who wants to be on our show? Because you definitely have inspired, because even though I've been doing this for 3 years, but you will hear somebody and there's always something that ignites and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And so I think that's 100% what you have done. I just have one more question. We only have like a minute left. We started early and we have gone probably.
That means you need to come back, Rosena. You need
yes,
to come back.
you do. But
no problem.
as I said, that this show is for prospects, for people who are just driving by going, hey, what's this all about? So if somebody's driving by, they're flipping through and they're like, oh, what's this going on? And they watch this. What is the one thing that you would say about becoming a Toastmaster? Why should somebody become a Toastmaster?
Cliche, Toastmasters is where leaders are made. But the truth is, if you want to see a new version of you, this is where you come. You're going to transform into the best you if you truly embrace what the program has to offer. You have hundreds of persons who are eager to support and to help and to develop you. But like most things, with membership comes privilege. And so being part of the membership gives you the privilege and access to do just what we're doing here, meeting new Toastmasters from around the world and learning and growing from each other through practice, through feedback, and just through mentoring and giving back to somebody else. The program has all that you need if you're willing to come and find out.
Perfect. Well, with that note, it is exactly 6:30. It is Wednesday. It is time for me to get to work and Rosena to get back to her day and Doris to get back to her day. But just real quick, Phyllis and Scott will be on tomorrow. Jean and, oh boy, yep, Anita will be on Friday. You will see Doris and I think my sister Cynthia next Wednesday. So, and I will be out of commission for about 3 weeks, I think. And then if not, I will pop in to say hello if I can. But again, Rosena, thank you so much for joining us. And you will definitely come back because I don't think we're done yet with you.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you all very soon.
Yes, in the Bahamas too. And don't forget to put your comments in the comments, your club, when they meet and the link so that we can join you. Please do that because I would love to come and visit.
Will do.
All right. Well, have a great Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Let me end this.